Hello, hello. What is going on? My peoples. It's your boy K-Mac back here with the Blitzburg Coverage Podcast. Back here once again in the saddle, bringing it all back after a post-game victory. Today is Monday, Victory Monday. Didn't do a podcast leading up to the game. Usually I preferably like to preview the game, give a prediction. But this game, honestly kind of went how I thought it would go. Leading up to this week one battle, we were put in an interesting predicament as far as the QBs go, talking Russell Wilson with that calf injury once again. And so he was questionable ahead of the game. And, I thought Tomlin did it right by putting Fields in. Considering, as a quarterback, your calf, especially with how I thought the line was going to play, I thought the line was going to play a lot worse than what it did. And so I was expecting, why would you even put Wilson in that predicament? If he has a lingering injury, don't want to make it worse. So I thought Tomlin made the right decision in playing Fields, and just the fact that Fields had honestly gotten more snaps in preseason and really throughout the entire offseason. He had gotten more snaps and reps with the ones. So, I was cool with them playing Fields, and I thought Fields played his role well. He needed to manage the game, no turnovers, had a few dicey throws, but, I thought he did well. Threw the ball pretty well to JP, made some big-time deep throws that he needed to make. One of them was reversed because of an OPI and Pickens, just a slight push-off. It's whatever. The refs really yesterday, honestly, were trash. They were trash against us the whole game. Whether you want to talk about the roughing the punter that should have been when Cameron Johnston got fucked up and now he's on the season-ending injury, not gonna see him at all. So now we need to go get a new punter. And they called it holding, whether the guy was getting pushed back into the punter or not, the dude fucking got his knee fucked up. So now he's gone. We could look at the offsides penalty by TJ Watt, which was probably one of the most perfectly timed snaps I've ever seen in history. Last year, we saw the same incident on a field goal we made in which our center moved his head before he snapped the ball, and one of the defensive linemen or whatever for the Jaguars was offsides, but they called us for false start, whatever the fuck. The refs these motherfuckers just hate us, man. So, and then you want to talk about another play where TJ got a sack or a forced fumble, whatever. I mean, the dude was just all over the fucking field yesterday. Just another vintage, day in the office for him, week one performance in which, on one of his big plays, Dante Jackson hands to the face. Didn't even show a replay of that. Just like with the offsides penalty on TJ, they didn't even show a camera angle of that. They just fucking showed the other bullshit camera angles. And so it's just like, the NFL just has this agenda against us where they hate us. I don't know what we did. I don't know, but whatever. So, back to the game. I thought the offense came out and played, honestly, pretty efficient ball yesterday, considering it's a week one performance. Not everything's going to be in sync. Had a lot of good drives yesterday. Just wish we could have finished some of those drives with touchdowns as we won the game 18-10, thanks to Boz, who made fucking 6 field goals. A lot of those were 50-plus yarders, so kudos to him. And then even after Cameron Johnston got hurt, Boswell had to punt the ball and punted the ball 45 yards. And we ended up having Scotty Miller be the holder or whatever the fuck. I mean, just, big-time performances from everyone that we needed to step up when we needed to. When we needed them to step up. So, I thought the defense really did well in limiting Bijan Robinson, big play-wise. I mean, the guy had damn near 30-some touches, and we held them to, I want to say around 100-ish scrimmage yards, whether it was catching or receiving. Catching or running the ball. I thought they ran the ball to the left a lot. A lot of those stretch plays gave us some fits. Highsmith, I would have liked to have seen him play that edge better and, hold his gaps. But they ran away from TJ, and, the dude is just a fucking menace. I don't know what else to say. The disrespect is just crazy. I'm not even trying to make this about him, but it's like, what can you say, bro? What can you honestly say, dude? The dude's a fucking menace. Just hand him the award now. But the defense came up big time. The first drive on defense, Dante Jackson should have had an interception, dropped it. Atlanta comes down, kicks a field goal, big time. I thought that was big time, man. Really, the defense just holding them to a couple threes early was big. The Atlanta did eventually take the lead heading into half, 6-10. We were able to get a nice big time play to George Pickens down the right sideline with about 3 seconds left. Kick another field goal there, and we go to half 9-10. And the defense from there, absolute clamps. They held the Falcons to about 60 yards of offense in the second half. And JPJ, like I said, coming in this year, I expect a top 10 cornerback performance out of him. He's going to cement himself as a top 10 cornerback this upcoming season. And Drake London was unheard of. 2 for 15 for him. I thought Dante Jackson played a solid game. Should have had 2 interceptions, but he had that interception towards the end of at the end of the game, damn near, to really cement that game and give us a nice GG there. Would have been cool to see him run it back, but we'll get to that drive in a few seconds. Outside of GP, though, no really big receiving threat, and that's kind of what we expected week 1. Freiermuth had a couple receptions. No Van Jefferson to speak of, no Scotty Miller. I thought some of the play designs were pretty well, but just poor execution, just poor blocking. Calvin Austin and Van Jefferson cannot block. Honestly, I don't think they can block because they're just limited in size. They're not big receivers. They're fucking small. So while we're throwing wide receiver screens to George Pickens, I like that, but the blocking was atrocious on some of those plays. And let's get rid of the wide receiver reverse runs, please. I mean, right after we got that interception, the second one, I want to say, was it, Elliott got the first one. But there was that second one. I can't remember who got the second one. And, we run a wide receiver reverse run and we lose 9. And it's like, why the fuck are we running that? Just go forward. I thought the running game was efficient behind Najee and Cordell Patterson yesterday. I thought Najee ran well, especially considering I don't really care for the pitch plays, but he showed some patience on some of those runs, was able to get to the second level efficiently. And I thought he had a solid game. No fumbles, just another reliable game from him. Didn't see a whole lot of Jaylen Warren because I think I don't really think they want to fuck around with that hamstring. I think they're kind of saving him for later on. But I thought the line played solid. I really thought in the running game, a couple times, Atlanta did their thing and played the run well. But this was a game very, very defensive, low scoring, and very conservative. We really didn't try to stretch the field too much. We wanted just to manage the game, play efficient ball, and that's what we did. No turnovers, just massive. And that's what I mean, like, Fields just played his role, had about 200-ish scrimmage yards, made the throws when they were there, ran the ball when he needed to for about 70-ish. I thought that was big, especially there on that last drive of the game where we needed to ice it and just play clock management. So after that interception, when it was 15-10, we were about the 20-yard line. Would have been cool to score, but I know we were just kind of playing to win. Don't fucking force nothing. Don't turn over the ball. And, that's what the formula was yesterday. When you're going to your backup quarterback / QB1, arguably, you just want to manage the game. Don't ask too much and just keep the team in manageable situations. And I thought we did a good job of that yesterday. That was really one of the main things. People are going to say, well, we didn't score no touchdowns. Nah. Yeah, I was bitching about that too, but the fact of the matter is we only had a couple of 3-and-outs. It's not like we just went 3-and-out, put the defense right back on the field. We were able to get some, really good time possession in the second half and, put the defense in a good spot where they could kind of pin their ears back a bit and really get after Fields, as we had we should have had 5 or 6 sacks, but 2 of TJ's sacks were nullified by some bullshit penalties. Montravius Adams got a sack. I think Hayward got a sack or half a sack, so just what can you say out of the defense, man? This is what I expected out of them, as they're gonna be big time this year, especially if we stay healthy on that side. Minka had on a couple nice plays. Didn't hear a whole lot of him or JPJ, and that's a good thing. Minka's been our leading tackler for a while the past couple of years because it'd be some, missed tackles and he'd be there or he'd be playing towards the line of scrimmage. So it was really good to see him just kind of play back in his traditional role. Elliott had some nice plays. Peyton Wilson's first tackle was a huge play in the red zone on that first drive where arguably if he doesn't make that tackle, Bijan probably takes that to the house. So he made a great tackle. I mean, he was engaged with the lineman and fucking pushed off, dove at fucking Bijan's hips and made a nice play. So, honestly, a solid performance. And, for what week 1 was, can't be too mad at it. As we're in first place. Ravens lost Thursday. Cleveland got smoked yesterday. And the Bungles always start out slow for whatever reason. Burrow's first game back, and they lost to the Patriots in a low-scoring game. A lot of flags yesterday, just a lot of week 1 shit. But that's about all I got to say. And solid, no injuries except for the punter. And Roman Wilson, maybe we'll get him back soon, but we'll preview week 2, Denver, later this week. Got a lot of stuff cracking, so game recap done. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We heading out of this thing. Let's go. Solid.